Hey, hi, how's it going? We live in a time where finding two adults that agree on pretty much anything is hard as fuck. It's like pulling teeth. Okay, we don't agree with each other on pretty much anything ever. And a lot of that is because of the internet and because of how, how easy it is to voice your opinion on things, right? So people have very vastly different opinions. But I think one opinion that I've found is just universal. I feel like maybe less than 1% of the population disagrees with this. Almost everybody agrees with this. The worst character trait on any person ever is the alpha male character trait. Okay, and I don't mean like what alpha males think they are, where it's like they're, strong and powerful and like, rich, whatever, right? Like that's not even really a problem. I don't think most people dislike actual alpha males, but the thing is, actual alpha males don't fucking call themselves alpha males because they're not cornballs. The character trait that's bad is the people who actually call themselves alpha males and think that they are alpha males. It's cringy as fuck. It's corny as shit. I gotta say, if you are, if you're the type of person who thinks that you are a alpha, I gotta tell you, you are probably an insecure child. You can be 43 watching this video thinking that you're an alpha. You are an insecure child. People who actually fall under the definition of alpha don't even know that they fall under that. Like that's such a chronically online term. If you even know what that is enough to like call yourself that, you're not that. You are not a alpha male. Again, you're an insecure child. And that's the case for pretty much every alpha male. Every person who claims to be a alpha male, 9 times out of 10 probably hate themselves. So they have to like make a character in their own head to play. If that makes sense. Like they dislike themselves so much that they just invent a new guy to take over. And it just leads them to be fucking delusional. Again, this is like 9 times out of 10. This is almost every single one of them. And I think we can all agree. Okay. Honestly, I don't think anybody has gotten to this point in the video and has disagreed with me on anything. Because like, again, it's such a universal take that alpha males are f***ing cornballs. They're fake, they are characters, and they are completely delusional. Now, the reason that I set that precedent, right, like I get that out of the way, is because the person I'm gonna be talking about today fills that character trait so f***ing to the T that I honestly think he's possibly the corniest person I've ever seen in my life. Like, this dude is so f***ing delusional, just so out of his own mind that it's hilarious. It's honestly some of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my life are just this dude yapping. Now, of course, I'm talking about King Azoulay. Or King Azoulay, or I don't know. I'm gonna call him King Azoulay because that's a little bit easier. Anyways, you've seen this guy before. I'm extremely late to this topic. You have seen this guy before, without a single doubt. Like there's a very high chance you've seen him, and there's also a very high chance that you know exactly why I'm talking about him, because he is so beyond delusional that it like seems like he's aware of it and he's almost doing it on purpose. But the thing is, he's not. Like he is dead ass serious, and you can tell in every video, but it's so, the shit he says is so f***ing stupid that you can't fathom that he's being serious. Like there's no chance, but he really is. He really is being serious about the bullshit that he says. And just to start you out, I'll give you a little example of him just making shit up, but like fully believing it, because that's just what he does. So here, watch this. Okay, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
And Christians write to me that I'm the Jesus Christ of this time, that I am the Messiah. I was shocked that people wrote this to me. He said, what did they see in me that I don't even see? I hit 32, God spoke to me. He told me, you gotta go save the world. I need you to go back in there.
I need you to guide them.
Like, I mean, as the caption says, nobody f***ing said that. Dude, nobody has ever written to you and said that you are God. Nobody. Literally nobody. No, there's not a person on the entire planet. And here's the thing, there's honestly a pretty high chance that there was people writing this because, the guy's pretty popular and some people are f***ing insane. So it's not like too far-fetched to think that like at least somebody said this to him. But you know what? I'm just gonna go out. I could be wrong about this. I'm gonna say nobody has. Nobody has. Even the insane people who are fans of you have not ever said this, brother. No, nobody's ever written to this guy and said that you are the Jesus of this time. No, I'm gonna go out on a whim and say that's never happened. Also, when you hit 32, God spoke to you and said that you needed to what did he say? Go back in there? What the f? You gotta go save the world. I don't know what the f you were on your 32nd birthday. I'm gonna assume that you probably weren't sober though. I hate to tell you, man, that wasn't God. I don't know who the f said that, but wasn't God. There's dog. I mean, that is just so many levels of delusion that I can't even break it down. And the thing is, again, you can tell that he's being dead ass serious. Like he really thinks that God spoke to him and told him to save the world. So what are you doing exactly? If you're the Messiah of this time, what are you actively doing to save the world and guide them? Because I'm with it, man. You know, maybe that did happen. Okay, so let's see some action. What are you doing to like work on that? Because it kind of seems like the only thing I see you do is just like get on podcasts and say stupid shit. So I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm a little skeptical. Also, I think this is a perfect time to bring up the fact that supposedly Mr. Azoulay here, when he was 18 years old, went to a party and got a 15-year-old girl very drunk, and then you know what I mean? You know, like yeah. So I don't have like guaranteed proof that it's like true. There is supposedly like court documents and he got actually charged with, you know, SA on a minor. But the thing is that like the court documents aren't like public, so you can't really find them. And it's, you know, of course he denies it. He says that it never happened, said that he wasn't guilty, right? So like the thing is, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But again, there is like court documents, and the way he responded to them, he essentially said that the court documents were real. And if the court documents are real, the court documents literally say that he was charged for it. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it probably is true. And now look, man, I'll admit that I don't know that much about Christianity. I think God would not reach out to a person like that to supposedly save the world. I don't know, man. I think that's a fair assumption. I think I'm right about that. Honestly, hey man, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm like pretty certain that wouldn't happen. So yeah, not like that matters, because let's be honest, God did not speak to this person. Nobody ever said that he was the Jesus of this time. That those things didn't happen. I'm just giving more proof to it that it didn't happen, because like this guy really seems to think it did. I gotta take him down at least 2 pegs here. That shit didn't happen. Not at all. No chance. Anyways, moving on.
One day I got into a fight and I ended up beating the out of like 5 of them. And the boss, he took out a gun, put it to my head, told me to stop fighting, and I told him to shoot me. And he saw in my eyes that something was going on. I thought I was gonna die. He told me, I'm not gonna shoot you, I just want you to stop. And he looked me in the eyes and he realized I was a young boy. He pulled his gun down, put it in his pants, told me.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop this right here. This didn't happen. This absolutely did not happen. I feel like this is probably a plot to a movie, and you're just like regurgitating the plot of this movie. Like I'm pretty certain this is the plot to some kind of movie. I don't know. And if you do know, if you've seen whatever movie he's trying to play as, please let me know. But I'm just gonna assume that this is a story that you read and you wanted to pretend like that happened to you because it's a cool thing, because it makes you look sick, makes you look like a badass. The problem with that though is that movies and reality, believe it or not, are two very vastly different things. They just are. You know, example, every high school movie. High school is not like that. High school is not even close to like that ever at all. Like I don't, dude, the thing is, I think it's so funny how he says this clear bullshit so confidently, because it's like, the thing is, for him to keep doing this, for him to like create this crazy story and just say it with the utmost confidence and continue to do it, because he does it all the time, that means it's working. Like, he wouldn't do it if absolutely nobody believed him. So there is people out there that genuinely believe this guy. Why? Who the f listens to some shit like this and is like, damn, I think that guy really is Jesus? I personally am one of the people who wrote to him and called him the Jesus of our time, because I don't know, man, he fought off 5 mobsters with his bare hands, and then told the boss to kill him, and he's like pretty much John Wick. And you know, I just think that that's some Jesus shit right there. I feel like Jesus would do that. I think this guy's Jesus. Like, who the f is that stupid? That's a genuine question. If you know somebody who like is actually that mentally gone, please let me know why they're like that. Like, just give me a hint. 'Cause what, like, Again, people who believe this guy do exist because he would not keep spewing this bullshit if nobody believed him. So I know they're out there. I've just never seen one. So I would like to, honestly, I'd like to talk to one, study them a little bit, because it's like, how could you possibly be this stupid? And furthermore, how can you be that stupid and like have gotten this far? You know what I mean? Because it's like, there's not like 13-year-olds, well, maybe, but maybe. But what I was gonna say is that there's not really gonna be like 13-year-olds who are fans of this guy and like believe him, right? He's clearly trying to cultivate an older audience. The people who are actively believing him and like saying that they believe him and, you know, are fans of him are most likely adults, most likely, let's be honest, close to this guy's age. How the fuck are you that stupid and have made it that far? How have you not like gotten in a head-on collision because you forgot which way to drive? How? It's a kind of an anomaly. Like it's almost impressive that you're still kicking if you buy a single word that this guy says. I just don't get it, dude. Who's falling for this shit?
Come, I want to talk to you. I said, if you want to shoot me, you can shoot me in here. You don't need to go outside. Normally, if you tell somebody, come, we're going to take a walk, somebody's coming back, not walking. So, he tells me, I'm not going to do anything to you. I just want to talk to you. When we went outside, he talked to me like a dad. He asked me how old I was.
Okay, dude. All right. Oh, 15. Right. So you want me to believe that when you were 15, you took 5 grown men in hand-to-hand combat? Is this Karate Kid? Like, I don't, is that the plot that he's trying to follow? Is that, why would you say, like, 5? You went all the way. You were like, my followers are dumb enough to believe I took 5 people. Like, if I was gonna make up a story to like try to, you know, frame myself as some crazy badass, I'd probably start with like 2 or 3. You're going to 5? You want us to think that at 15 you beat 5 grown men? No, the fuck you didn't. If they were like 5 grown men in a wheelchair, you might have a chance, maybe. But even then, I don't think you got that, brother. Like, it's like, yeah, top 10 things that didn't happen. Yeah, no, like I feel like whenever people like this get on the podcast and like share their backstory, you can interpret a lot of people not believing them as like being haters. And I do think that happens. I do think there are people in the alpha male sphere that go on and actually share like real, genuine backstories and then get a lot of backlash about how it's fake because, you know, there's people who are also insecure and just couldn't possibly believe that thing happened to them. So like that is a fair assessment. That I'm sure that does happen. That's not happening here. Nobody in the comments saying that this is fake is like jealous in any way or is insecure in any way. They're just observant because this is genuinely not possible to be a thing. This dude, unironically, in the past 2 videos had said that when he was 15, he beat 5 men in hand-to-hand combat, and then the boss of those 5 men, you know, pointed a gun at his head and then ended up like being a father figure to him. That is psychotic. That's stupid. And then in the other video, he said that Christians were writing to him and calling him the Jesus of our time. I mean, am I insecure to say that that's objectively not a thing that happened? Is that like, I don't know, man. I don't think I'm being a hater. I think I'm being astute, and that sure as did not happen. I'm an astute observer, and when I see bullshit, I can typically smell it, right? And that's, I mean, this is stinky. This is stinky. Not real. This didn't happen. You're not fooling me, Mr. Azoulay. I know you've already fooled yourself and probably like a few million cards, but you're not getting me. You're not getting me.
Have you ever been next to a f***ing bus that was blown up?
No.
No, I have. Have you been at a restaurant that was blown up?
No.
No,
Again,
I
this
have.
goes back to the trauma that you faced.
So everything that I had to face brought me to where I'm at today. And when I step in a room,
Nobody could take on me. When I was 24 years old, I was already worth $100 million.
I feel like I can skip this one entirely. I mean, the person who edited this video did my job for me. Just like make him look like a idiot, because he is. Have you ever been next to a bus that's blown up? He's claiming that he's been next to a bus that blew up. How? You know what? At this point, I don't need to prove that he was not next to a bus that blew up, because he just wasn't. But I kind of want to know like the severity of these lies. Like, how often does that when are buses blowing up? I want to know. I'm gonna look this up. I'm looking up how often buses blow up with people in them, because I'm assuming that's what he means, right? I'm sure he wasn't next to a empty bus. I'm assuming that he's saying that he saw a bunch of kids blow up. I don't think that happens. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think buses blow up. So I'm gonna look into this just to see the severity of how bullshit this is. So from what I've found, you know, bus things like people going onto a bus with a are actually, I mean, they're still rare as but they're more common than, you know, you probably want them to be. But he didn't frame it like that. You know, he didn't say, have you seen a bus get bombed? He said, have you been next to a exploding bus? And that in my mind is like him saying, have you ever seen a bus just fucking spontaneously blow up before? Because I have. And if he's talking about that, we can see the statistic here for accidental bus fires and explosions. And it looks like it's about 2,000 a year. And keep in mind, this is including fires. I don't know how many of those is explosions compared to fires, but let's be for real. It's probably very little. That's probably mostly just buses catching on fire. And of those, on average, 3 civilian and 30 injuries happen per year from bus fires. 3 civilian and 30 injuries per year. So like, again, I don't know why the I'm even bringing this up because it's like, it's so very obvious he didn't see that. But he's claiming he did. And I just gotta be honest, bro, you couldn't have bullshitted harder. That's like a 1 in a million chance that you saw a bus full of people blow up. And then he immediately follows it up with, have you been at a restaurant that's blown up? Brother, now how the have you seen both a bus blow up and a restaurant? I gotta be honest, that's probably like a 1 in a billion chance. Probably is. And I'm not gonna say that's impossible because 1 in a billion chances happen all the time. I just don't think it happened to you. Just gonna be honest, I don't think that happened. And then he says, when I was 24 years old, I was already worth $100 million. Now, again, is that impossible? Almost. Almost. I think for you to be 24 and be worth $100 million, that has to come from like nepotism. And this guy is putting on a facade as if he's like had no father figure. You know, he's raised by the mob. You're not gonna be raised by the mob and be worth $100 million at 24. Again, not impossible, but I'm just gonna go out and say that there's no fucking chance. No chance. We're looking up his net worth. It. Okay, well, I'm getting a lot of different, a lot of mixed signals here. Lots of different answers. I got one answer that said 328,000, which, to be honest, I believe that more than over 100 million, you know, but he's claiming over 100 million. I'm gonna give him, you know, a little bit of credit. And then I also see, you can see it right here, Ben retired at the age of 24 after selling patents for $100 million. Now, the only reason I don't believe that at all is because that comes from kingazoulay.com, his website. You know, the website ran by him. So to be honest, I've got no clear answer here. I'm just gonna say that was a lie. That didn't happen, man. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. The only thing here that is at all reinforcing the idea of him having $100 million at whatever he said, 25, is literally one thing. It's his own website. I gotta be honest, man. I kind of have to take that with a grain of salt and just assume that your own website might be sucking your own a little bit. You might be doing that on your web. I think you might be blowing yourself on your website. I think you made this website to just dick ride yourself at least a little bit, okay? And I'm sure that you would say I'm wrong, but you know I'm right. Man to man, Mr. Azoulay, you're kind of bouncing on your own shit in this website, and you gotta admit that, because ain't no chance, bud. Ain't no chance. Selling patents for what? For what? I'd actually like to know. What? For what? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
When I was younger, when I arrived to the US, I started eating at a Chinese restaurant. The owner was, for me, Master Shifu. When I used to go there, eventually the owner fell in love with me. And he said, that kid is special. I left school and I would come to him. And before I would eat, he would move all of the tables and he would teach me Kung Fu. And I was 10 years old. So I learned how to move with like Kung Fu, you know?
Yeah.
It was.
Wow, that's good, man.
And I loved it. It's different.
It is different.
There's something beautiful about it. The way they move. And
Christ, dude. Okay, so let's, you know what? Let's piece together this guy's backstory here, because I mean, holy this is quite possibly the backstory of all time. So from what we've gathered so far is that when he was 10, he moved to the US and just out of nowhere started eating at this Chinese restaurant, and the owner of the restaurant just loved this kid so much and just saw something in him, something so special. He decided to teach him kung fu. And I'm assuming, you know, by the end of this video, he's gonna act like he became a master or some shit. So let's just go ahead and get there. You know, this Chinese guy taught him kung fu. He became a master at kung fu. Then he took that kung fu and 5 years later beat the ever-loving shit out of 5 grown men that also just so happened to be working with the mob. And then the mob boss, you know, after seeing this 15-year-old stud just kick the teeth out of 5 of his men, approached him and was like, I'm gonna kill you with this gun. But then he saw something in him too, probably the same thing that Chinese man saw, just the sheer power behind this man's eyes. And so he decided to not kill him with that gun and decided to be his father figure and raise him in the mob. 10 years later, Mr. Azoulay, you know, after being raised by the mob, sells patents for something, but we may never know. It was probably a patent to the like secrets of the universe. He probably patented literally a planet. I mean, it was probably something like that, because I mean, look who we're talking about here. It was probably something crazy like that. So he sold that patent to who knows who for supposedly $150 million. Now he's got over $100 million at the age of 25. And around this time that he, you know, sold this patent for $150 million, he had Christians writing him letters calling him the Jesus of our time. Probably because he just patented a whole planet. But, you know, he was told that he's the Messiah and that he was Jesus of our time. And then a few years later, right, we continue to move on. When he hit, I believe it was 31, God himself spoke to him and told him to, quote unquote, save the planet. And that's what we've got for the backstory. Or at least that's what we've got for like what he'll admit to. But, you know, if we include everything we know, you can also tie in between the age of like 15 when he was being raised by the mob and the 25-year-old thing. There was also this little thing that he did at the age of 18 called raping a minor. Supposedly that also happened. You know, just kind of part of his super sick backstory. I mean, yeah, like I don't know why you wouldn't see this guy as Jesus reincarnated. Personally, I think if there's anybody on this planet that could possibly be Jesus, it would be King Azoulay. I mean, he, like, this guy knows that he literally calls himself King Azoulay. That was not a nickname given to him. He made that on his own. Like, he knows. And again, if there's a chance that Jesus is walking on Earth, it's gotta be the guy who set his own name to King Azoulay. Has to be. 100% has to be. And that whole thing, that little hiccup at 18, let's be honest, that definitely didn't happen. That one is crazy. All the rest of the little things that we just talked about, yeah, of course that happened. Of course he was a kung fu master at 10, beat the shit out of 5 people at 15, $100 million at 25. Like come on, that's all simple shit. That shit that, let's be honest, if you would just apply yourself, you could do all of those things. Those are all simple. But the whole a minor at 18, I mean, be for real. This guy? Come on. There's no chance. I mean, look at him. There's no chance a man like this who talks about himself like this would ever do that. There's zero chance. And I think if you believe that, you're probably a chud. You're probably a chud loser. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, Christ, is that what he wants us to believe? Like that bullshit? Like, be so for real, dude. Holy shit.
You know why people wear boxing gloves? So they don't up their hands by hitting somebody's head. Your head is the strongest bone in the body. And if you train it and bang it enough for a whole year, it becomes 4 times thicker. And we've heard it. And I learned that at a young age. That's what I learned from the Shaolin monk.
I think that first part where he said that people wear boxing gloves to like not hurt their hands, that might be the most right he's ever been, and that is still wrong. Like, I think out of everything we've heard him say, that's the most right thing he's ever said, and it's still wrong. People wear boxing gloves for, I mean, like, I'm sure that's part of it, you know, to not hurt your hands, but it's also so you're not bare knuckle hitting someone in the face. I would say protecting your hand is maybe half of it. To be honest, it might be none of it. I don't know. Okay, I don't box, but I know that that's not the case. I know that's not the case. And again, that's the most right he's ever been. And then he followed it up with probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He said, your skull is the hardest bone in your body, and if you train it by banging your head for a year straight, it will get 4 times harder. If I could avert your attention for a second to the screen. So, there's that. And also, there's a chance that banging your head on a wall or something and like doing that, pretty consistently for a year, there's definitely a chance that it makes your skull a little stronger, right? Like I'd say that that's, probably not completely retarded because it makes sense. The human body's kind of crazy. If you use something enough, it'll grow and it'll get stronger. We're like, yeah. Okay. I'll give him that, even though I don't know. That point really doesn't matter. I'd say the point that matters the most is the fact that he is like telling people to hit their own head on shit for a year. So like, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just not getting this. You're telling people to bang their head for a year to make your skull stronger for what? Exactly. What would you need your skull to be stronger for? I mean, it already does its job quite well. The job of like protecting your brain, most vital organ that you have. It does that pretty well. It does that extremely well. And I'd say that banging your head on a wall is probably not great for that extremely vital organ, again, your brain. I don't think you've ever used yours. So there's a very high chance that a lot could happen to your head. I'm sure that you could take a sledgehammer to your skull and still spew this retarded bullshit. But for pretty much every other person on the planet, the brain's pretty important. I don't think you should slam your head into a wall. That's my advice for the day. My advice for the day is don't condition your skull by banging your head on the wall. That's not a good idea at all. Don't do that. Dude, at this point, I feel like this King Azoulay guy is just like completely self-aware as to like how he looks to other people. I think he knows that he looks like a fucking idiot, but he also knows that he has people that like believe the bullshit that he's saying. I honestly think he's kind of playing with it a little bit. I honestly think that he's seeing how far it can go. And he's like, you know what? What if I tell him to bang their head in a wall? Like he's testing the waters as to what he can make his fan base do. Like he's like, damn, I wonder if I go onto a podcast and tell people to start banging their fucking head on the wall, I wonder if they'd do it. I think that's what it is. I think he's evil as shit and he's using his power to try to get you to bang your head into a fucking wall. So that's why I'm here to tell you don't do that. Because I'm not evil. At least not yet, but have 5 mobsters pull up on me, I might bust out the evil juices a little bit. I might get a little evil. I mean, I might have to, dude, because I could take 5 grown men right now, of course, but I would have to be a little evil. And I think that's what did it to him. I'm just saying right now I'm not evil, but 5 mobsters pull up on me and get their teeth knocked in, and I might be a little evil. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. I mean, I'm a man of many, many ops. I've got so many ops. So we'll find out soon enough because of again, my many ops. Guys, I'm really cool. I've got enemies and shit, and I'm kind of a survivor, and like, I'm really cool. And you know what? Like, literally last week, my ops shot up my house, and I low-key tanked that shit. I did. I know I'm not in a podcast set saying this to an equally retarded person, so I get that it's a little harder to believe than King Azoulay's things. But yeah, it did happen. My house got shot up. I'm actually in a different room. This is a green screen because my whole house they threw a grenade in my window. So, I'm doing a little bit of renovation, all by hand, by the way. And yeah, I high-key tanked that shit. A grenade hit me in the chest and I said, nuh-uh. Unlucky for you, grenade. I've been banging my chest on a wall for a year straight. So, you, pal. My chest is 4 times stronger than before, and now I can take grenades. So, yeah, I'm just cool like that. Anyways, let's continue to listen to Jesus' words.
When I was 13 years old, I got jumped by like 30 black guys. They beat the shit out of me. One hit me with a baton over the face. And that was the time that I stopped hanging out with black people. And believe it or not, today...
All right, I think we're done. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think we're going to end it right there. I mean, Jesus, dude. Imagine making up a bullshit story about how you got jumped by 30 black men just to like defend you being racist. Like, dog, at this point, just be racist. Just be racist, dude. Like, just be openly racist at this point. You deadass just said that 30 black men jumped you, and you created that story to follow it up with, yeah, so I don't talk to black people, but guys, I only do it because they almost killed me. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I think you're just a little racist. And I think you're wasting your time by making this story because I'm going to be honest, I don't think anybody believes you, dude. Dog, I mean, how stupid could you possibly be, bro? I almost feel like if you looked your podcast host in the face and you told him word for word, yeah, I'm actually racist as shit and I hate black people, I feel like that would be more respectable than the bullshit you just said. I mean, what the like, come on, bro. What? Who's buying that shit, man? And like, nobody made you say that. This didn't spawn from somewhere. You didn't like say some bullshit and have to defend your racism. Like, nobody knew, bro. You could have just been silently racist. You need that aura so bad that you just outed yourself. Lock the in, dumbass. Like, literally, what was that? That's Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, I can't keep going. There's no chance. Dude, is this before or after he learned karate in a Chinese restaurant? Good point. I think if it was after, all 30 of those gentlemen would be dead currently. They'd be dead and probably. So I'd have to say before, you know, because again, if it was after, they would. He was literally a kung fu master at that point. He would have them all. So the fact that they even got a baton swing on my guy, 30 people, I mean, that's like pretty much nothing to this guy. So the fact that they got a baton swing, I'm gonna assume he was like probably a fetus. He was probably 2 years old in this story. I'd say any older than that and he could have taken all 30 of them. So, I mean, talk about lucky, right? Because again, if they were just a year late on that jumping, they'd all be goners. So good for them, I guess. I'm sure he went and got his revenge. I'm sure they're all gone. Dude, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm Jesus Christ. Yeah, man. I think more, you know, just to tie this all up, give a moral to this story. I think King Azoulay might be the biggest fucking goofball ever. Biggest goober award goes to King Azoulay for being just wrong about everything, just like wrong about shit, like completely delusional and possibly like mentally fucking insane. Actually, I don't even know why I'm saying it's a possibility. He just is. This guy, there's something wrong with him. Okay, I don't know what it is because I'm no doctor, but I'm gonna assume that there's something there. There's something there. That being said, I sure do love pointing and laughing at him. So gotta say, this is the top 5 people of all time. And he's also Jesus, so, you know. Anyways, that being said, sub to the channel, check out the socials, go watch the Slopcast. Okay, go watch it. Now, I know that the 6th episode hasn't came out yet, and I'm sure that you're probably up in arms and like ready to storm my home because it's not up. And I understand how important the 6th episode is for you guys. I get it. I know that it's keeping you up at night. Just know that we're working on it, okay? It'll be out very soon, and if you somehow haven't seen the other 5 episodes, why not? I mean, what the are you doing right now? And don't tell me you're busy, because I know you're like playing the new Simpsons Fortnite season. Go watch the other 5 episodes. Also, go check out my Spotify, just because. I feel like I don't get enough traction there. Go check out the Spotify. Anyways, thank you to my Sigma tier channel members: Elite Alien, Diggity Dog, GRV, Scent, D-Clan Erskine, Sweater King, Bacteria Food, Bob Can't Fly, Protogen, and NoobTube the Third. All right, I'm going to bed.